Well, here we are to talk about Infinity Pool.
Yes, the famous Infinity Pool. You've been wanting to see this for a minute.
Yes.
Anyways, we saw it. What would you rate it?
Anyways, why don't you go first?
Go
No,
first.
I'm curious to see what you would give it.
Oh, it's so tough for me. Like, really, it is really hard for me. I think I'd give it an 8.2. And that's really going off of like my personal.
Well, duh. What else would it be going off of?
I always say this, but I like to judge a movie also just on how good it is, not just if I liked it or not.
Hmm,
Because sometimes those are not the same.
I agree, but I do think it's important to have that mix.
Yeah.
I would give it in 8.34.
Okay. So pretty much the same.
Yeah. Um, I really liked it though.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it, but it was really disturbing for me. There were moments I really liked it, and then there were moments where I was like, this is just too much for my little brain.
See, I felt like I'm not bored at fucking all. Holy shit. I mean,
Yeah.
2 hours straight, I haven't been bored for a second.
Yeah. I mean, it just definitely made me uncomfortable. I had anxiety, but I thought the camera work, the filming was so good. I thought it was so pretty to watch.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, obviously it made me uncomfortable at parts. Just not that I'm like a pussy or anything, but you know, it was a lot.
What specifically tripped you the fuck out?
I mean, it's just kind of like a bad trip, you
Yeah.
know, like a literal like bad
So, from
trip.
Skarsgård's perspective, that's where you were
Even
tripping
his
out?
wife, which I know she wasn't like the main character pretty much throughout. I felt for her and just these freaks. They're total freaks. Um, doesn't mean it's bad though. I don't think it's bad. It was just a lot.
I know. I'm just saying, is there a scene in particular? Because there's one in particular for me that I really cringed.
uh, I mean, just so much. Ew. There was like a scene during, I don't know if we should just like wait till we go through, but this specific scene during this orgy thing,
Yeah.
there was just a scene in there that was really, it brought out some type of phobia, and I don't know what phobia that would be, but
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. It was like her nipple
yeah,
or something, right? And it
yeah.
was growing and
And somebody
leaking.
like
Yeah.
it was
And it
something
was a
real.
full like 2 inches, 3.5 inches
Ugh,
long.
yeah. Okay, so I guess that was like similar.
Yeah, I thought that part was kind of gross, but uh yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what the NC-17 version looks like.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh, I know. I have no clue what that could even.
actually, I think I know.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm not gonna talk
Whatever.
about it. I
Um,
did read something.
I feel like, oh yeah, just the idea of the whole time I was thinking, how do we know that these, you know, what are they called? They're fakes.
Oh,
How do we know that they weren't switched?
they're
I was
like
thinking,
doubles or
yeah,
something.
they're doubles. I was thinking the whole time, how do we know that they didn't switch them? And then they said, well, we don't know.
Yeah,
And
no,
to me,
I
that was like, it was just really disgusting.
see. For me, I thought it was so original because when James first got executed, he's watching his own execution and he's starts smiling, it felt
Yeah,
like Us, Jordan Peele's Us. And so I thought, oh my God, these motherfuckers have to be switched. And he's
right.
watching like
That's how I
the
felt
real
too.
one die. And I felt like hopefully they didn't make it that obvious. And that's going to be the plot twist because I mean, it feels like we've all caught on to that pretty
Yeah,
quickly. But within the next 15 minutes, they're like, you ever wonder if you were switched? Like, we all do. And that shut down that whole idea of that even being a
yeah,
big
a big.
thing. And I thought that was very creative because shit, I don't know where the fuck you're going to go from here then. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this movie?
So I guess we should just start breaking it down from the beginning. Um, this is a made up country, right? Did they even say the name?
I don't know.
Okay. Me neither. I feel like it must be made up, and they all have these like little
It
tattoos.
has to be made up. It looks fiction as hell.
Obviously, they can't really speak on a country like this as if they do these demented things. So it's definitely made up. I feel like they never said the name of it. Um, so what you think
What I
from the beginning?
think, what I think of the beginning.
Yeah, like what did you feel like you were getting into?
From the beginning, I really liked the movie. To be honest, it was mostly probably Mia for me. She's just so interesting and spicy or something.
Yeah,
And obviously, everyone at this point, they're just on what seems to be a normal, rich vacation in couples, and they're kind of having this double date with these new people at the resort. And yeah, I mean, everything seems pretty fucking normal. Obviously, there's some concern about Mia and her husband. That's her husband, right?
yeah.
Because we have seen the trailer. And obviously, this
Well,
has to go
duh.
fucking somewhere.
Well,
But
and they were just off.
yeah, I mean, I didn't know what the fuck they were up to, or the thing is that when he hit the person with his car, it really was his fault. I mean, he
Yeah.
really fully committed a crime.
I mean, it was an accident, obviously, because he couldn't see
I don't
with
know.
his lights messing up, which just feels
But yeah,
crazy.
like they said later on, they didn't even have to, I guess, get him into trouble because he did that for himself. But I mean, at least at this point, I don't really know why they care
Yeah.
about this couple so much, or
They don't even care about the couple. They really
mostly
care about
James.
James. But what do you think of M? I loved her. I felt so bad
Yeah,
for her.
M stayed in reality.
Yeah, she was constantly getting screwed, and her stupid ass husband kept making her spend $10 million constantly because he wanted to keep doing stupid ass shit. Ugh, I just feel bad for her. And oh, that little scene where Mia comes from behind him and starts, at the beach.
I remember.
Sick. I mean, I'm sure you liked it, but
What? Why would I like that?
I don't know because
What
it's
the
a
fuck?
crazy moment.
Anyway, yeah. So he gets, he kills his fucking double, whatever.
What?
He kills his
Oh,
double.
when they got
So,
caught.
yeah, when they got caught, obviously. But the second time when, okay, at first I thought when he lost his passport because these bitches are ready to go, I'm ready to go, that he must have had it stolen or so, like what are the chances that this is
I
missing?
thought, yeah, somebody took it. I didn't know who at this point, but I obviously thought somebody did, or maybe even himself. There was something, you know.
You thought it was himself? Be honest.
I didn't think he stole it from himself.
You thought you knew he hid it from like when he was like, I don't know where it is.
I knew there was something suspicious about it and that he was kind of weird. He didn't really want to leave. Even when he was laying in bed, he was like, I'll find it and you can just go and, I'll just come whenever I find it.
I had
Somebody who
thought
really
at
lost their
this point,
passport would be freaking out. They would be losing
yeah,
it.
but he to me he looked like he kind of was. I had seriously thought he wanted to kick a rock. This has been the craziest experience ever.
Mm,
But yeah, obviously, as the movie went on, was hiding
yeah.
out motherfucker.
I didn't know if, see, I didn't know what place that they were in, so couldn't tell if that couple took his passport
Mhm.
and they were hiding it, you know? Because they were the ones that tried to trick him into staying. They wanted him to stay. But I don't know, like, I can't figure out what place that they were in, if they were in his hotel room or if they were in theirs. So I have no clue.
Jesus.
Anyways.
Yeah. I thought their masks were really fucking cool.
Oh, they made me sick.
Yeah, they were insane.
The
They were
holes.
super intense. I thought the whole thing was really fucking creative. The whole middle, all their orgy scenes and their well, you have to go beat up that guy who's stopping your passport.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking crazy.
Oh my
And
God,
then
I
he
know.
pissed on his head after beating his ass. They're laughing. He's out of control. He's animalistic.
For
And
real.
he takes off his hood and it's his own
And then he has a
self.
full bad trip. Like, how obsessed with yourself or like narcissistic do you have to be to inflict trauma or whatever onto somebody and have no, like, be living your best life doing it? And then, like, if you realize it's being done to yourself, all of a sudden you're sick. Like, you have to go throw up. You're freaking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't know if there was like a bigger message from anybody about that.
What do you mean?
Like the writer or director. Some sort of
The same person.
oh Brandon.
And
What the fuck are you up to? What the fuck? How are you thinking of this?
yeah,
Like, I can't
see,
lie. I really, really like this movie. I mean, I enjoyed myself.
you love horror though. I mean, that's like your thing. I feel like.
Yeah, but this wasn't just horror. And
No, it was like psychological. And
yeah, if anything, it felt like almost sci-fi thriller. I mean, it was horrific, but I didn't see as much of a horror movie when I think of horror movies. Yeah, like I thought it was fucking insane, but
I know that you said that you felt like the entire time you were not bored. Do you feel like it kind of got, I feel like I didn't really get to like a huge climax or something. It felt very much like the whole thing was kind of the same tone. And it, I mean, kind of like in Infinity Pool, it just felt like it was just never ending, just this horror. And it was suspenseful, it was anxiety inducing, but it felt very like almost same note. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. For some reason it didn't bother me in this movie.
It doesn't always bother me. It's just to me, it felt like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I really felt like there were a lot of shocks. For example, obviously the very first thing with his we're gonna give you a double and we're gonna kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And then who knows if anyone switched, we'll never ever know. And then let's go do something with us tonight, or you know, we're gonna play a game. And they go and rob that guy, those two
Yeah.
girls, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, then he loses his passport, he beats his own self up. There's this orgy.
With that drug.
Yeah, that fucking what the fuck is that? What
I
is that?
know.
It's like a mix of ecstasy, fucking mushrooms, peyote,
Something like
and
DMT
like
or something.
and like a Viagra.
Yeah, it's
Like something so insane.
something really sick, to be
They said it
honest.
was legal, so spiritual.
Yeah. And what was so spiritual about that?
I don't know. Maybe it
I
is. It
mean,
was a psychedelic.
yeah.
But my point is when he's like, I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm having a bad trip. And they pull up and they're like, James, James, come out here. And then she shoots right at his little window. She doesn't give a
Mhm.
shit. James comes out. I mean, I still don't like, I'm scared for James's life. Not that I care that much about his life, but it's concerning. I don't know what the fuck these people
I mean,
do.
at
They're
that point, I
fucking
was
crazy.
thinking, like, if I were in that position, I would just be like, just kill me. Like, make it quick. I would
Yeah.
be
I
tapping
mean,
out. I
they're
mean, this was
living
such a,
in basically a place with beyond anarchy because there's no nothing can happen. If you can murder, you can do drugs,
if you
I
have the
mean
money.
anything you want because they'll just keep making a double that will just look like your justice was served every time.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and so like all of this stuff, like I said, it was kind of keeping me on the edge of my seat because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen with him and these people or why. I don't even really know why any of this is happening either.
Yeah.
His dog, like it was just so fucking
Would
crazy.
think about how these rich people would kind of almost get in trouble because it was fun. They almost got off on seeing their double killed. What do you think about that? Like that they were getting off on it. They really liked it. Every time they saw their doubles getting killed, they were like, yes.
Um okay, that's another thing too cuz when they had done the first crime of the robbery and they're all sitting in this jail
Hmm.
and he's like, "Come with me," and they're all about to get executed. And you think this might be really them until
Yeah.
like the first cut. You're like, "No way is James already dead? The movie just started." But this for an audience, you're thinking this is them in this jail because you
Yeah.
just saw them dead ass do this
Hmm.
robbery. And yeah, I thought that was such a crazy moment. And then to see them in the audience cheering because you
Yeah.
brought it up, it was fucking psychotic, but it was just so, I guess, original to me. It was
Yeah.
like one of the okay, I'm gonna try not to be dramatic with all my one of the best or one of the most ever, but it was incredibly original, this whole concept.
Yeah.
And this whole script, the whole fucking idea. What you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think for the people who were cheering, which was all of them, and even I'm a anyway. The people who were cheering, it felt like they had done this so much
Hmm.
already because this is their summers, basically.
Yeah.
This is their vacations, and they're always doing this. That it was almost like Like, I don't know. It's like a joke at this point. And also, I don't know. They're so sick in the head. Maybe it's like watching them like give a fucking good
Yeah.
performance on their way out.
This
Like,
is kind of like a theory I was having when I was watching it. I was kind of thinking like when when this first happened, where they had a double, and probably they could have been switched because that would make sense for maybe like the government or whoever's doing this, like, okay, here you can think you're having your life back, but really we're killing them. That maybe they're losing a part of their soul or like humanity, especially every single time they're dying. They're not really even like human anymore. There's nothing like actually human about them, and that's why they're getting off on it. And that's why they're kind of so evil and demonic.
do you think they're evil and demonic?
Do you not think so?
I do. I do.
Um,
For real. I was mostly kidding.
okay.
I really was mostly kidding.
Mostly keyword. But yeah, that's kind of a theory I had. Possibly
Yeah.
because it seems like he was not that horrible of a person at all whenever the movie first started, but after his double was killed, he was immediately fucking weird and like
Okay, this
soulless
is
almost.
my theory. Mine was more of in terms of from James' perspective, it wasn't in my head more of a every time we die, we like become less and less human. To me, I took it as almost like if you get a first taste of complete freedom or like
Here you go.
complete unhingement, something like that,
Yeah.
as a human, you feel like you cannot probably go back to regular bullshit
Yeah.
and
I mean, I wouldn't even
submissive kind of shit.
necessarily say, I mean, I guess you could say freedom, but I'm sure you can't
And
really
I'm
even go
not
there in
saying
your brain.
freedom in a good way, but yeah, I think that's obviously freedom. There's no laws, rules. I mean, nothing's gonna fucking come from anything you do. You can,
But even internally, like maybe you just can't have morals at that point because you're just that fucked up.
yeah. Well, what did you think of the dog?
The dog, I mean, okay. I just think it's so funny because Alexander um just is so obsessed with the fucking dog, like in real life.
Hmm.
And
It
I don't know.
wasn't that big part of the movie,
Yeah, it wasn't like super, super major,
right?
but it was creative, I guess. I think it's funny how he threw the knife, he was like, fuck no. And she was like, it's for the best. Like, what'd she say? It's
It's for your own good.
it's for your own good. And then
Yeah,
the
he
dog
didn't
starts
even really
attacking.
need that. Which was I thought it was an interesting again concept because who's gonna win in
Yeah.
a fight against yourself?
I I was thinking about like if I were in this.
And it should have, in theory, it feels like been the dog because it looks like this motherfucker has been like in beast mode for a minute, you know?
Yeah.
And James is not. This is all kind of being thrown at him.
Well, yeah, and he had just gotten shot in the leg. And
Yeah, that too.
yeah, and he was all
Yeah, James should not have made it out, and why he did is beyond me. And what did you think of him beating it to complete oblivion?
my gosh, I mean, I think that's disgusting. I think that's
It
disgusting in
was
every
terrible.
single movie or show that I see that in,
Yeah,
because I've seen it like a few times.
I
And
know.
it's sick every single time. It makes me disgusted because, and it's kind of like in real life when you hear about these murders and they stab someone like
800 times.
800 times and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That is like a, you have to be so gone in the brain. Like, not human. That's what I mean. Like you cannot be human to be able to do that.
Well, you said the concept was something about eating the rich. What did you say? Something about the rich.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. I still, I mean, I guess, I don't know, the morality of the rich. Yeah, once Pandora's box has been opened, it can't be closed. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's a mix of kind of both of our opinions, where you said they're kind of losing their, you said their soul, but similarly, their morals over
yeah,
and over again. But the same thing, once you open that door, you can't fucking shut it.
yeah,
I mean, you can't go back. He can't just go back with M, and
yeah.
that's the end of it.
Which is kind of like brings us to the end. Anyways, what did you think about that ending?
I thought the end was kind of flat.
It
I
was to me too.
wish I couldn't write a better ending because I was wondering the whole time, how are
I
you gonna
know.
end it?
Same.
And I hope you do a good job. Good luck, seriously, because this looks
Yeah.
really hard to wrap up in a really good way with a nice bow.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, I thought the airport. It said a lot in terms of
How everyone else was so normal and just like
going back
as
to
soon as
work.
they were on the shuttle, they were
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, and like this is gonna happen at home," and "Oh, did you give me the money for this
yeah,
person?"
I'm just gonna rearrange the furniture. That's what I do when I get bored. Oh, you guys are literally the same person.
And then, what's his name?
James.
James is in the back, like his mind is so far gone, and I guess maybe at a certain point he's gonna get it back to where he's just like these people because you think that he's gonna go home. Wasn't he on the phone with them saying like I'm coming back before they got on the
Yeah,
shuttle?
sounded like it.
Yeah, and then he just never gets on his flight and then he goes back to the place, which I guess throughout it they were talking about how this like rain, this like is gonna come.
Yeah, rainy season.
And do they just close up this whole resort?
I think so.
And he just went back there to
It didn't make any sense.
sit
Like,
in the rain.
I I did like the aesthetic of showing the rain on the windows and the
Yeah.
waves getting bigger
Hmm.
and showing what they've been referring to this whole movie. Like, it's about to be the raining
Yeah.
season. And I thought it was really attractive to look at. But
That he
yeah,
like couldn't
his
leave.
no, his part just like didn't make sense. Because are you just gonna seriously sit here?
I
You don't
know.
even have money.
And you don't have money, but also there's no one even work like so you're not
It
gonna
doesn't make any sense. Get on your flight. Like,
get on your
I don't
flight.
know if you just needed another minute and you're gonna rebook.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I
Which how many
can
flights
guess.
have you booked? Like you are running this bitch's money to the ground. And I hate you for that.
Yeah, I
I know
mean,
that's not a part of the movie. That's just like, you know.
I don't think him and Em are gonna last because I think
M,
he's gonna need to keep coming back.
you need to get a divorce, sweetie. Right now you should be calling lawyers, getting a something written up.
Yeah, let's talk about just the characters. We touched on Em quite a bit, but
Yeah, I mean hers she's just a good person. I think she is really cute. I really like that girl.
yeah,
Um, but she wasn't really like a main character in it.
yeah, I think to me she represented normalcy, reality,
A good
a grounding energy.
person.
Yeah, a
Jane,
nice chick.
oh, he's kind of lame. Like in real life, like he, is lame before he got to like the psychopath James, and then he's just like actually so psychotic. I don't even know how to feel about him. I'm disgusted. What do you think? Wait, we didn't even touch upon the adult breastfeeding. I totally forgot because you had told me about that. I think like a week ago.
I thought it was insane.
What was the point of that?
It's hard to let it go. It's
What was the
sitting with
point of it?
me. And I'm gonna answer your question, but it's also something I've pushed to the back of my brain, and I can see it in my peripheral, but I'm actively don't care to think about it. But you said what was the point of it?
Yes, like
Oh, I think it was just to calm him down, quote
ew,
unquote,
it's something so
after
sick.
his big murder.
Anyways, yeah, he's yeah, gross. I just don't like him, obviously.
Yeah,
I don't know how you feel. How do you feel
I
about
don't
him?
care about him. Is how I really feel,
Which
to
is
be
crazy
honest.
because he's the main
I mean,
character. It
I
feels like you should
care
feel
in
like
the sense of I don't know. I mean, like it feels it's on some level you started to dig your own graves. So it's just hard to,
duh.
um but yeah, I've been itching to talk about Goth herself.
Yeah. Obviously she did great. I mean, I think Alexander did really good too. Like playing this character. I feel like he's good at playing someone like this. So, not saying that he did a bad job. I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
Um, but
I'm talking about the characters.
Mia too. What's this bitch's name? Oh yeah, Gabby. What'd you think about her?
I loved her. She did it again.
She did it again.
She sure as shit did.
Yeah. I mean, she was so crazy. Why does Mia play such a good psycho bitch?
I don't know, and I don't even care. Just keep doing it because I love this character. I thought this girl was so complex and out of her mind and still so incredibly likable, as vile and evil as she was. Like
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed Mia's performance.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Obviously, I love her and everything. So,
And I'm not gonna really go through like necessarily everyone. Yeah, I'm just gonna put them all in one group because they kind of all
right.
represent, in a sense, the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, they were they played their part to me. They were exactly what you would kind of expect of these
Yeah.
rich. It was almost like Purge vibes.
Yeah, I kind of got Purge. I kind of got a few different inspirations, I feel like, in there.
Yeah, I think there were quite a
I
few inspirations for it.
I got some Ari Aster, like at least camera tricks and stuff.
Really, I
Like at
don't
the
know how
beginning.
much are you be doing that spin.
I don't know. I could see it.
He'll go down a lot. He likes to go from the top screen
Doesn't
to
he like
like,
to go from side to side too?
yeah, I think so.
But he likes upside down.
Yeah, but they didn't really do upside
Okay,
down.
whatever. I mean, yeah, they did at the beginning.
They did the
Whatever.
roll,
Anyways,
the barrel roll.
but I think, you know, anyways, um,
Well,
mhm.
the man who did this movie, let's talk about the actual creator of Infinity Pool.
And he is the full creator.
Full creator. This all the credit goes to Brandon C. And
Cronenberg.
um yeah, I did want to say even just naming it Infinity Pool
Mm-hmm.
in I'm believe this is correct on why it was named that because of Mia and
Yeah.
okay. Um yeah, what it feels brilliant because if you let's say you did not have a name for the script and
Mm-hmm.
you wrote this whole story and you're reading it through, like what would I call a movie like this? And the most subtle line detail in
Yeah.
this script of we were building an infinity pool in it. killed,
Yeah,
these people. We got,
and that's the beginning.
yeah. I mean, it's so good. I think
It's
it's
just like an
brilliant.
infinity pool is basically something, like a pool that looks like it's never ending. And this movie was seriously felt like it was never ending.
Really?
In like just a way of it just felt like these things kept happening to where nobody was getting out, like they kept getting in trouble. They had to keep I mean, he had three different doubles by the end. Obviously,
Yeah.
it just felt like it was never ending. And then obviously he stayed because he like couldn't even get out. Like it felt
And I thought that was interesting, all of his urns that he kept.
I know.
I can't even imagine how many everyone else has,
I
but
know.
in the sense of this never ending, we never get out, I'm sure that especially them going from ape shit to normal on
Yeah.
the shuttle back to the airport, I'm sure that every vacation they take over here, every year that they
Right.
go, that they keep, it's a surprise to them. We don't know what the fuck is gonna go, but we're gonna go never ending till the
Yeah.
last day, till we're on checkout. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's fucking the craziest shit, and think it was really fucking good. And I wouldn't change my rating for some reason. I don't know why, because I really fucking like this movie. I thought it was so crazy.
And go down kind of.
It didn't go down.
No, no, no. I just meant like from being one of your favorite movies because
I
you
have
liked it
no
so much.
idea. I can't even really figure it out. It felt like an intuition, what I would. If I was sitting and I watched this and I had a little piece of paper, I had to write down
Hmm.
anonymously what I would
Yeah.
give it. I don't know. I feel like it'd be an 8.34. Like it's not the best movie I've ever
Three
seen
fourths.
in my life, but I thought it was so original. I respect it. I have a lot of respect for it, and I thought it was fucking crazy. And to make something so out of this world, some things that this could never even happen,
Right.
and in a way of it felt logical too. Like we get how you're having doubles. We get how
Yeah.
there's four of you. It's making sense in my head.
Yeah.
And there's characters who are so evil or so unhinged and scary and psychotic and then so interesting and likable. I just thought it was such a fun shit.
It was definitely fun. It was an experience. I also think,
Made me feel crazy.
yikes. um, I feel like because we did see a matinee, it just added to the weirdness of like,
Going outside in the sun still out.
yeah, and I don't know. It's such a weird movie. But I don't think it was bad. I think it was really good. It's for, certain people.
Final words. Do you think there's anything this movie needed to make it better or could have? Since neither of us gave it a outstanding round of applause.
Um, I don't
I
know.
don't know either.
I
And
can't
that's why I
think
couldn't
like
tell you why I knocked it.
to me it did feel like a little bit just flat in general. Even though it gave me all these feelings and it was crazy, it just still kind of the whole time. I don't know if I was expecting a little bit more, which I don't know how you could expect more from this movie. Like I'm kind of
I know,
dumbfounded.
I know what you mean. I think for me it was the ending. Like mostly it almost, as crazy as it sounds, it needed like an extra 30 minutes of starting a conclusion and then having a really good
Yeah.
ending.
Do you think they could have done like better music or like the lighting? I appreciate their like lighting was all fun and everything, but I felt like it was dim kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the aesthetic, to be
Oh, I
honest.
totally said it. I saw this like news thing on it that said that Infinity Pool is the White Lotus for sickos. And I was just really excited to see like what that meant because obviously we love the White Lotus.
Yeah,
And it's so true.
it is true.
It is so true.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you're into that, then I mean, it feels like you should be really into this, but I like the White Lotus better. Super
Yeah.
random, but
Um yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
me neither. I feel like
Okay.
that's it.